Homegrown Radio.
Dumenan Sanbanane Hayako by the name of Ms. Piki Paka. Welcome to Homegrown Hustle. So today I have a part-time actress and she's also the founder of Dipuo Kgaphola Educational Foundation. You might know her from Skeem Saam as Sister Mokarati. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm very good. So please tell us about yourself. Who is Dipuo?
Dipuo is just a young female who comes from Chabeleng. I am a part-time actress. Most of you know me as Sister Mokarati on Skeem Saam. And I'm also a business development manager. And I am also studying Masters of Business and Leadership. And I'm a mom.
You're a mom. So with everything that you've mentioned, how do you manage to be a mom and also study and also do this and do that?
Honestly speaking, it's not easy. But, I always believe that time management is everything. So for me, I always plan my day. I need to know what I'm doing, at what time, where, and the how. But obviously, balancing all of that is not easy. And I know that for the next 2 years, I definitely won't have life.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because think about it. Where do I even get time to do anything else? On weekends, if I'm not shooting. Weekends, I'm shooting. During the week, I'm working. And also I have assignments, and I also have to write my exams and etc. So I literally don't have a life. Social life.
So please take me through your life. So like Monday to Friday, right? It's like 9 to 5.
9 to 5, yeah.
And then after that, it's study time.
Yeah, just immediately after work, I'm studying or doing my assignments.
And then during the weekend, now you have to shoot.
Yes.
So when do you make time for your kids or your child?
Oh, well, I have a son, just one child. So what I would do is I would shoot just 2 weekends in a month so that the other 2 weekends are for my son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Time management skills.
Absolutely.
So what kind of kid were you growing up?
I was just a typical village girl. I grew up in a village. I was raised by my grandparents. And I was just any other normal village girl.
Yeah.
Nothing different.
So whatever that you're doing, all that you're doing, has it always been something that you've wanted to do as this little young village girl from Magaeng? Really something that you're like, I want to do this, I want to do this?
Okay, so this is actually an interesting question. I know that growing up, I always wanted to be a leader, right?
Yeah.
And I think my mom always reminds me about this to say, Nana, you always said, when you want to be the CEO of SABC. And I think at that time, Dipuo Kgaphola was this, if he's not the CEO, he was the CEO of SABC. And he was actually my role model. I actually had a picture of him in my room.
What?
And I mean, later, when I started with acting first, I realized that there was actually something that was sort of missing.
Yeah.
And then I started the journey of really focusing on leadership and particularly business leadership. Yeah.
So with acting, when you come from Magaeng, you see acting as something that is far-fetched. It feels like, because you don't know anyone who's in the industry, so it feels like you need to know someone, or it looks like an impossible dream. So how was it for you?
Yeah, you know what? For me, I wouldn't really say that it was far-fetched. I think maybe because my uncle was already in the industry. He was on TV. So my uncle, he's a newsreader. So at the time, I was, I knew that being on TV was not something that was far-fetched. And I've always been that overconfident child who was just a dreamer, like, if Baribon and Dubai, I'm there. I always thought that these things are for me. So I think for Ned, it was not really a difficult, it wasn't a far-fetched dream in a way, if it makes sense,
So please tell us about your foundation.
That is my heart.
Yeah.
So in 2016, I founded Dipuo Kgaphola Education Foundation. And over the years, we have been organizing career exhibitions. And like I said, I come from a village, right?
Yeah.
So when I left, I realized that, there's still a gap. Back in Raskukune, we do have amazing brains. We do. But then the problem that we've always had was just access to information, particularly when it comes to careers. So I wanted to to have an organization that can serve as a vehicle to just bring about that information, to say that you don't just need to be the careers that are available out there, it's not just engineering, teaching, nursing, and doctor. You can do political science, you can be a writer, you can be an actress, you can actually go and study drama. And one of the reasons why you find schools in Raskukune underperforming is because of such issues that you find a creative forcing themselves to study science, because after matric you just have to be an engineer and whatever the case may be. Now with the organization that I founded actually wanted to address such issues.
So is it focusing on Raskukune fela or?
Yes, for now it's Raskukune, and I think we've been doing very well so far. I think we were able to enroll over 11,000 students in universities, and so for now we'll just stay there. But then I must say that over the past 2 years it has been difficult because of COVID, so we can't really have our career exhibitions and gatherings, etc. And I hope that we'll be back again and do what we do best.
Yeah, because you need to, you must.
Oh yes.
So going back to you acting, is Sister Mokarati your first character that you got to live in?
Actually, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me narrate the story, right? So I went to AFDA, right? After completing, I think I completed in 2015, right? So I graduated in 2016. So come March, obviously after graduating, you're frustrated, you want to get in the industry, but then I went back home. I went back to Limpopo, and my grandmother was like, okay, Shap, if you just go to Sama, just relax for a bit. And then in March, April, or May, I get a call from someone that I know from AFDA, and he calls me, he's like, yo, Dipuo, we know that we saw your work at AFDA, and there's this show coming up. I want you to come and audition for it. And then as I was about to go and audition, they're like, no, we know your work, so we're signing you.
Yes.
This was a show called Yalla. Do you remember that show?
I remember.
It was a Sutu show on Zanzi Magic. It was So I was playing, yes, I was actually playing a prostitute there. So that was my first gig. And after that, I went to Generations, and I was there Communiana for just a few weeks. And then I did Ikaya, I was on Ikaya, and Skeem Saam. But wait, I've been on Skeem Saam from 2016. Yes.
So that was before Ikaya.
So it was Yalla, then it was Skeem Saam, and then it was Generation.
So Yalla is the one you're linkum shweshone?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the first gig, and then I went to Skeem Saam, and then when I was at Skeem Saam, I then did a commute with Generations and Ikaya, and then now I'm still on Skeem Saam. So
So as actors, as actors, people think acting is easy. They don't understand what you need to live in that character. So going back to the character that you played rather as a prostitute, right?
Yeah.
So how did you get to live in that character?
Wow, okay, that was an experience and a half. First of all, I come from a Christian background, right? So it's a prostitute, and I've never really had any kind of close anything with a prostitute around. So I had to go on your YouTube and whatever internet to sort of have an understanding of how it feels or what it means to be a prostitute. And I think I just took what I can and embodied that, and then that was that. And then it was really a fun character to play. Yeah.
So after cut, when you shoot a scene and then they say cut, you need to get out of that character that you're playing, right?
Yeah.
So that you can go home and be Dipuo,
yes,
right? So how did you manage to when they say cut in each and every character that you played? How do you go on and be like, okay, this is cut. I need to let everything leave the characters behind and be me?
I really don't want to give you a sophisticated answer, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly speaking, for me, I don't know. The moment they say cut out, I just go back to the pool. I don't even think about it. Do I think about it? Maybe I do, and I wasn't aware. But I just know that after cut, how the pool will come back, life goes on. So that's just that. But I think maybe it's we differ as actors.
Yeah.
So maybe for some, depending on how intense the scene was or the character is, maybe you need to take a moment to really step out of the character. better, but for now, I just step out and I just go home.
Yeah, because I've heard from a lot of actors who are, for them, they need to, like, after our cut, when they get home, they can't just walk inside their homes or anything. They need to maybe drive around, so that they can come back to being the people that they were. So with you, I think it's easy.
Yeah.
I wish with me,
maybe there's something wrong with me.
maybe you haven't gotten that character that's
that is so intense.
Yeah.
Sure. I agree.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's a really big pleasure having you here, and I wish you all the best in everything that you do. And where can the people find you on your social media pages?
Oh, I am not a social media person, but okay. I'm Dipuo Kgaphola on Facebook. And I am Dipuo Kgaphola.
Yeah,
on Twitter. Yeah. And then on Instagram, I'm Dipuo.Kgapola, something like that.
And then for your foundation?
Foundation is Dipuo Kgaphola Education Foundation. Website, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So from me, Miss Picky Parker, and Miss Dipuo, bye.